America is at an educational crossroads. How we prepare our students today has a direct impact on the nation's future. To be successful in the next couple of years, Americans need to possess a key combination of skills. Skills that Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Thomas Friedman has termed our secret sauce for innovation. The recipe for this sauce blends expertise in mathematics and science with high levels of creativity. Furthermore, these new American innovators must collaborate, communicate, and remain able to adapt to the constant flux in the global economy. So as educators, how do we ensure that our students leave school with these critical skills? To meet these needs in Texas, educational leaders are adopting an innovative approach. They are bringing together mathematics, science, and fine arts teachers to integrate instructional strategies from art, dance, music, and theater into mathematics and science classrooms across the state.
Integrating the arts in with the math and science definitely helps the student apply the learning to the real world and gives them another avenue to explore those difficult to teach and difficult to learn concepts.
That's what I'm most excited about as a mathematics instructor in Texas, is the opportunity to collaborate and work with teachers in fine arts so that we can help bring that artistic passion into the arts, into the math and sciences.
Integrating the arts into mathematics and science classrooms promotes the skills that educators and business leaders have defined as crucial for preparing our students for the jobs of tomorrow.
It comes down to the 21st century skills of collaboration and interdisciplinary thinking. And when the students see that their teacher is working with another person to exchange ideas and concepts, it really doesn't matter what it is that you're discussing, whether it's biology or a math concept, but the idea that the arts are a way to communicate those concepts, that is eye-opening for them. And it opens up beyond just having a written response or a verbal response, which is traditional or had been traditional for a long time, opening the door and saying you can demonstrate this through movement, you can draw a picture, and you can take it to another level artistically. That will really open up a lot of doors for a lot of great ideas that are just caught inside.
I think students that are graduating from high school in the 21st century really need to cultivate certain key and important habits of mind. One of them is to do continual improvement, to recognize that there's no such thing as really just being done. There's always a process. We're always going on. We're trying to correct mistakes before they happen, and if they happen, to learn from them and to continue to grow. So one of the habits of mind is to do continual improvement, not just as a young person, but all their life.
When students study the arts, they develop these key habits of mind, according to a compilation of more than 60 studies cited by the school administrator. These habits of mind include imagination, innovation and creativity, engagement and achievement motivation, conditional reasoning, symbolic understanding, critical thinking, collaborative learning, and action. In addition to being integral to 21st century skills, many of these habits of mind weave throughout the Texas College and Career Readiness Standards. Studying the arts helps students learn both 21st century skills and meet the Texas College and Career Readiness Standards, providing educators with even more reasons to support arts integration efforts.
I think any art discipline is a useful tool for any regular academic teacher, just to give them another strategy to teach their subject area.
We're born with the ability to create, and it's unfortunate that that particular skill is not always developed, but we have to ask our students to work that skill as a muscle, and the arts enable us to do that and be more aware and able to adapt in all situations.
Students who develop these habits of mind are more effective once they reach the workforce. a report entitled Arts and Employability found that students who had enrolled in at least 2 arts subjects while in high school were between 5 and 10% less likely to be unemployed, compared to students who had not enrolled in arts subjects.
I think one of the things that we try to teach our students every day is learning how to cope with different situations. One of the things that we routinely do is put them in situations where they have to work on teams and collaborate in classes, whether it's in small groups or a larger group setting, to understand how to work with and accept other viewpoints, and also to understand how to deal with conflict.
Well, the whole process of creating art is risking and then evaluating and then kind of working and then risking again and then evaluating and so forth.
Furthermore, integrating arts instruction powerfully changes the learning experience in the classroom, in part because the arts reach students who are not otherwise being served in school, and the arts engage these students in different ways than many other learning experiences. These changes impact students' self-perception and translate more positive feelings about their abilities to learn in general academics, as well as in reading and mathematics.
I think for a student to be able to see how a lesson is integrated between or across disciplines is very important. To see that their life isn't just following one path. I've seen research where the more pathways you can make in the brain, the better it is for the student. It's kind of like building bridges to an island. So instead of just having one way to that island, you want to have many different ways to get there. So if you can create a lesson that has a link to art and a link to math and a link to language arts, that's 3 bridges you've built to that information. So that child has 3 different ways to get to that information to recall it.
Furthermore, the arts connect students to themselves and each other. For instance, students involved in theater were 7% more likely than students not involved with theater to be friendly to other racial groups. The soft skills of working together, including with others from different cultural backgrounds, provides enormous benefits when students reach more advanced mathematics and science labs, where teamwork and collaboration are required to solve problems.
An important aspect of life skills that are applied to science is working with others. Knowledge should never be kept as a secret. It's always meant to be shared. And part of the nature of science is to communicate what we find with others. So the ability to work with others, to do teamwork, to be able to share ideas, to listen to the points of views of those who maybe have a different frame of reference, are all critical life skills that enable students to be more successful not only in science but in life.
The arts transform the environment for learning.
The moment that the students are able to integrate art with math, they really enjoy it and they get it.
So it can be a connection so the students can see that what they're interested in their world is also can be applied to the mathematics world as well.
When the students finally create something beautiful and artistic, they realize after they see it how it's everything that we did in our lesson.
Studies show that the arts support a positive school climate where students, teachers, principals, and parents are all much more involved in creating innovative learning.
When there's a positive school climate, students are able to feel confident in asking questions and answering questions and really stretching their brains to understand the concepts. When the students feel safe, they also feel confident and they feel like school is a place where they can enjoy being and enjoy that learning process.
The arts challenge all students. Even students who are already seen as successful can benefit from the continual challenges inherent in arts experiences.
And so for high achievers, I think you can keep adding a layer of a problem that takes them from that original objective and says, hey, I can tweak this and do something really extraordinary and make this really different, which often high achievers want to do anyway. They want to do something that is above and beyond.
And really that's always been the heart of science. We're not ever really thinking just in terms of being content to repeat what we already know. but we're always wondering what else is out there. And so the arts stimulate that creativity that encourages children to want to explore.
Finally, the arts connect students' learning experiences to the community and to the world of real work.
It's important for students to see that science relates to the real world, because when I'm teaching science, I'm teaching about the world around them and about how the world works. And it's important for them to understand that it matters, because it's either about how our bodies work and how all the systems in our bodies work together, or how we relate to the ecosystem around us. And right now, what can we do to make sure we have resources for the future and for our kids and for our kids' kids.
So many students, especially in math, think that math is just a pen and paper inside the classroom walls, when that is farther from the truth. Math is universal and it's outside of the classroom. And so until the students can see the math applied somewhere else, then they can never make that connection.
And yet, despite all of the benefits, science and math are the least likely subjects to be integrated with the fine arts. This is why the Center for Educator Development in Fine Arts, a statewide nonprofit specializing in fine arts instruction and professional development, is partnering with the Texas Education Agency and Education Service Center, Region 20, are teaming up with leaders in math and science to create model lessons for integrating these subjects. CEDFA has a long history of standards-based instruction and innovation in the areas of interdisciplinary work and fine arts integration. The key guiding principles for the model lessons will be that they teach concepts identified by math and science teachers as difficult for students to grasp. The interdisciplinary instruction will be student-centered, maintain integrity of the integrated disciplines, be based on learning standards, help students form meaningful, relevant connections, and encourage critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration.
An integrated lesson to be effective, I think, has to be seamless. I don't think the kids are going to notice a difference between, oh, you're teaching art and, oh, that's math. They need to just say, oh my goodness, we learned that the other day when we were talking about, you know, something in art, and they just, it's not a here's your math lesson, here's your art lesson. It just kind of comes together, and they don't even realize that they're learning two completely different things at one time.
One of the ways that we could see that a student is really successful in science by integrating concepts and lessons that we get from the arts is that it provides contexts and relevances that are not always emphasized in just the discipline of science alone. For example, in the lesson that we've been working on, we were very excited to realize that a critical component of music, which is that it exists over a period of time, is a critical component also in the concept of cycles of change and predictable patterns that could happen in, say, for example, the orbit of the Earth around the sun or the moon around the Earth. That those also require, as Einstein would say, the fourth dimension of space-time, and that with music we can very powerfully provide that component, which would be missing in just a diagram or maybe a film or a static drawing.
It's kind of like getting out of your box. But so you have to be open, first of all, and I think a teacher should always be searching for new strategies and ways for students to learn.
This project is just going to be fantastic for teachers. Not only is it going to be fun, but they're going to learn a lot too about another subject area. So I think it's truly exciting what CEDFA's doing.
CEDFA will publish the lessons on Project Share alongside additional resources for support, such as the Content Connections, a map for connecting standards and objectives between the fine arts and other subject areas. While new resources and lesson ideas are helpful, you are the most important part of this initiative. After all, to keep America's engine of innovation running, our students must learn the skills of that secret sauce. That is how to be creative and at the same time master subject matter in both mathematics and sciences. It is an ambitious goal, but an obtainable one, because the arts power learning.